Hey everybody, welcome back to the Story Dude channel. I'm going to be your host today as we read some fine content that's been delivered to us directly from the annals of the internet. Starting with a great one called Am I the A-hole for abandoning my family to go to college? I come from a pretty poor family, and throughout high school, I've been working part-time to help support the family. It's not the sole income, but it's a substantial part, because my mom is an illegal immigrant and only able to get paid under the table, and part-time at that. I got into a top college, and due to my family's financial status, I got a full ride, no tuition, room, board, etc., for financial reasons. This isn't tied to academic performance and guaranteed for as long as I attend, so it's a crazy opportunity. I have the opportunity to go to a top college for free, and this will lead to much more opportunities. Unfortunately, it's across the country from where I live. My mom is begging me not to go. My sister is too young to work for a few years, and my mother doesn't make much, so if I left instead of staying and continuing to support the family, they'd be forced to have an even worse standard of life. I told them I'll continue working until the end of the summer, but I have to go. Going hurts us short term since my family will have less money, but not going hurts long term. Going gives me the opportunity, in a few years, to make lots of money, which can be much more helpful than what I can do as a high school graduate working minimum wage. And plus, for selfish reasons, I want to go. I want to learn and live a life vastly different from my mom's life. I want to be great. So I've decided that I need to go, both for altruistic and selfish reasons. I know it will be hard on my mom and sister, but they'll figure out a way to survive. I'll be working full-time over the summer rather than just part-time, so that should be a little extra to tide them over. In 2 years, my sister will be able to work too, so I'm sure they'll make it. My mom thinks I'm incredibly selfish to leave her and my 12-year-old sister to struggle. And even my sister is telling me their life will be much worse without me here. It does make me feel guilty, but I feel if I give this up now, I'll someday end up in the same position as my mom, only with an opportunity to change everything that I never took. Am I selfish? Am I the a-hole? Let's see what the community has to say. Not the a-hole. You need to think about your own future. As long as they can survive, it is better that you do you. I also feel that you can continue working while you are in college and send money back to them. It's not like you're completely cutting them off if you go to college. I think there's always room for some middle ground here, OP. Not the a-hole. This is a huge opportunity and you deserve to make a better future. And I believe that better future will be extended to your mom and to your sister. They will definitely benefit, even if, as you pointed out, in the short term, things will get a little rougher. Not the a-hole. As a parent, I'm a bit disappointed that another parent would even think to take away an opportunity like this. Please go make a better life for you and them. Not the a-hole. You are not responsible for anyone but yourself unless you have a kid someday. Yeah, I mean that's something I actually wonder a lot about as I get older, and my parents certainly get older, is to what extent am I responsible for them. And as a general thing, I think a lot of my friends are going through this too, that you reach an age where you have to start looking after your parents, and depends on the culture that, at least in my culture, it's not such a normal thing to look after your parents when they get older. But in other cultures, it's like almost expected. Your parents have kids because they want someone to take care of them when they get older. It's a weird thing to think about. So I'm not sure I agree really with this comment that you are only responsible for yourself. I think each family is different, and you can have crazy situations like a disabled member of your family that you need to take care of. That's like a sibling or even an aunt or cousin or something, or even a neighbor. Sometimes you are responsible for people that are not your children, for sure. And I think it's good that the OP is thinking about his family and not just himself. Not the a-hole, not even close. Point out to your mom that you get a free ride now and in a few short years can support her financially much better with an amazing career. Or you can be incredibly short-sighted, not go, and lose all of that and work in low-paid jobs indefinitely. And while other universities are good, the benefit of a top table university does impact your future earning potential. Usually, you'll start at a higher salary and increases will go up from there. You'll be looked at for more prestigious jobs and places, and yes, it's sucky for those who don't get this opportunity, but if anyone should take advantage of the privilege, it is you. Thinking, I mean, if this university has given you an incredibly generous scholarship, is it possible to have it deferred? I'm sure that if you were to explain the situation, they might be willing to defer it. But then again, maybe it's not in your best interest to wait around for a year or two before taking advantage of this. It's a tough call. But from what I can tell, OP has a good head on his shoulders or her shoulders, and is going to do a good job. So moving on to the next one here. Am I the a-hole for asking my girlfriend and her sister to cover up? I, 26 male, have decided to work on my flexibility and mobility due to my injuries from playing soccer in high school/college. My girlfriend of 2 years recommended that I try yoga. She does yoga 3 times a week and is incredibly flexible and agile. She told me she would talk to her sister as she's a personal trainer. I agreed. My girlfriend, myself, and her younger sister as the teacher have been doing yoga twice a week at my house for the last 3 weeks. I feel fantastic and really feel that it has been helping me. Yesterday, my mother called me asking if I was still going to give her the freezer I no longer used. I said yes and told her to come get it or I would take it to her the next day. The freezer is in my garage where we do yoga. I usually do it shirtless and my girlfriend and her sister are in sports bra and sweats. In the middle of our yoga session, I get a notification that someone was at my front door. It was my mom and dad. I headed to the door while putting on a t-shirt, but asked my girlfriend and her sister to put on a top also. My girlfriend gave me a daggers for eyes, and her sister gave me a confused, "Who the hell are you?" look. I said, please, because my parents were coming in. I let my parents in, and when I came back, they still are in their sports bras. My parents greet them, and I leave shortly after. My girlfriend's sister ends up leaving before we finish the session and told me that I am no longer her client because she's the teacher and she felt I disrespected her. I was confused and asked my girlfriend what she meant. She said, dude, she has big boobs. She gets shitted on like that all the time. You need to apologize like now. I'll let it go, but you're a dick. I told her I will clear things up with her sister, but I will not apologize because I didn't mean it that way. My girlfriend doesn't believe me and thinks I was trying to police her and her sister. I did start to think about it, and her sister is a good person, and I am thinking I did overstep the boundaries. I don't feel I did. You're the a-hole. Who gives a crap if your parents see your girlfriend and her sisters in sports bras? Why was this a big deal to you? Jimmy Taco. That's a great username. Is everyone skipping over the fact that he put on a shirt also? He didn't single out the girls out, and he said it was for a few minutes until his parents leave. No one is sexualizing anything here. If so, then he wouldn't have put on a shirt and only told them to put one on. It's more of a respect thing than a sexualizing thing, and people in the comments seem to have failed to realize that. I am in fact a 21-year-old female and can see the whole picture. Are you sure you can see the whole picture? I don't think anyone, except for God, can see the whole picture. Anyway, I'm quite confused by this one. I mean, I think it's weird that the OP asked the girls to cover up, but I can see if your parents are really conservative that they might think it's really weird if a dude is with 2 scantily clad women sweating in the garage. From the girl's perspective, I mean, they are at the guy's house. Do you have to, but it's like weird to expect that people should obey what you say in your own house. So this whole situation is just terrible, and I would rather not think about it, to be honest, because I really don't know what I'd do. I'm a beta, so I would definitely not ask anyone to do anything, but that's just me. Info. I didn't mean it that way. How did you mean it exactly? Take your time and think real hard before answering. I mean, come on. It just sounds like the OP was just, just not thinking like so many people do. And then you're on the hook for things that you did while you were not thinking. And, just got to let it slide. Unpopular, but not the a-hole. I would never wear a sports bra in front of my BF's parents. Edit. I would also not want my BF shirtless in front of my parents. Great username, by the way. Thick Beach. You're the a-hole. They weren't visiting your parents, who we are to assume would be offended by the sight of two adult women in sports bras. They were busy in normal attire for their activities, which you interrupted. Apologize and pray you didn't ruin more than free yoga lessons. Ay, ay, ay. Life is complicated, but that's why we do these stories, because I'd like to think it helps us all learn how to become better people in the long run. And on that note, I'd like to wish all of you a great day, and thank you so much for your support and the comments. We're keep working on making this channel better. We'll see you later. Adios.